Really important day for us today. A huge point of emphasis in this game will be the pass rush that we put on Jared Goff and third down situations, both offensively and defensively. You know, getting off the field defensively and extending drives offensively, I think is going to be critical in this game to try to keep the ball away from a really, really good offense in Cal and to get pressure on a really, really good quarterback. So I thought the kids did a great job for the second day of the week in preparing, again, a very physical, competitive practice, especially in our team pass drill. So excellent day. Got a couple guys getting a little bit healthier. Darius did a little bit more today, which was great. Steven did a little bit more. We'll keep on gauging that, and Chad's full go at left tackle, so that's good to see. With that, I'll answer any questions.
You're spending time with the line groups a lot. Have you ever done any kind of coaching with the line before?
Well, you got to remember, I'm an O-line coach's son, so I'm 43 years old. I think I was coached early in my life to be an offensive lineman and fell into the quarterback role and didn't get big enough. So, but I've being an offensive coordinator and being an O-line coach's son, you pick things up, and I just want them to feel the intensity and passion that I have for that group, because for us to win the championship, it's going to be won in the trenches. It was last week, and that's our belief here. So I think the head coach has to be around those guys, and they have to feel your passion for them. And every little thing that I can pass on to a defensive lineman, maybe a technique that an offensive lineman doesn't like to see, I'm going to try to give them every little piece of information I can over 21 years of experience.
Is it challenging to manage Juju Smith-Schuster in practice? I mean, he's obviously not totally 100% right now, yet he always seems to put himself back out there.
He reminds me so much of the great ones that have been here. Woody was here yesterday, and Marquise and Nelson. All the great ones, they treat every day like a game. They don't have, that third or fourth gear. They just practice in fifth gear the whole time. And he's one of those guys that every time he walks out here, it's a game to him and really tries to perfect his game. It's just his nature. And we try to do the best job we can backing him off, making sure that we script plays that he needs to see, and then try to back him off and get a backup in to take his rep count down in practice. That's the best way. But when he's in, he only knows one speed. God bless him.
You had spoken the other day about having target amount of plays for touches for the running backs and different players. Does Ronald Jones' role increase as the season goes on? Do you see
I think so. Like we tell every player here, as you produce and you put great stuff on film, your role increases. That's just the nature of football. And early in the season, he was trying to become a better complete player, learning pass protection, learning how to be a receiver out of the backfield. He's always been a terrific runner, but being an assignment sound runner, reading the right keys in the run game, and he's really starting to do that. And you saw that the other night, flashes of it. And so as he produces like he does, yes, his role is going to increase.
You've been here through all the sanctions and the depleted roster and so forth. How big of a difference does it feel like this year, having more depth, being able to withstand some injuries at various positions?
I probably would not be able to function, when maybe 3 years ago when our numbers were down. But now you look at the numbers being up and our trust in some young kids to go out there and help us. Deontay Burnett probably wasn't here 3 years ago, and now he is, and he's making plays for us. A young secondary, to have a Biggie Marshall, who's, I think, becoming a premier corner in this league, to be out there as a young guy. Just, I think our youth and talent is what shines so brightly here at SC. I think there's a tremendous future for this university because of the young talent and the numbers as they continue to increase. So, yes, that's very good insight.
Did you talk to anyone after the game about these pass interferences? Did you feel those?
I talked to him. I said, you know what, buddy, it's part of your game, your physical nature, and I don't want to take that away from him to all of a sudden say, you know what, go back off and not touch anybody. That's not his game. He's a big physical guy, and sometimes you're going to get those calls, but I don't want him to be less physical. He's so big and strong. He's an absolute weapon. I thought that he made some of the plays he made. You look at the two pass interference, but you could look at 60 other plays where they're just not going to his side because he's dominating the wide receiver. So I don't want to take that part of the game away.
I mean, did you talk to anyone from the Pac-12 about those plays?
No, did not.
Did you think they were pass interference penalties?
Did I think they made the call? So yes, they were pass interference penalties. Good try, though.
The Dory looks like concentrating this week a little bit, well, a lot more on defense. Do you have any concerns at all with him kind of making those major shifts from week to week in terms of his role?
If he was a different guy, probably, but not him. You know, he's a guy that you know, when we need him during that week, he'll be on that side. Obviously, a little bit more with this passing game that we're getting ready to face, and then we kind of bring him over a little bit Wednesday, a little bit Thursday for his offensive plays, which you know he's getting very comfortable with. So we don't need a ton of reps on that side. So we really want him to focus on the passing game and defensively this week, and he's just one of those kids that can do both sides.
You've gone less shotgun recently. Can you kind of just explain the reason?
Yeah, I think a little bit, you know, there hasn't been as much drop back pass game. You know, we're kind of in that New Orleans Saints type of mode with Drew Brees. You know, you look at that type when you're under center, what are you? You're more of a run play action team, you know, and then when you get back into the gun, what are you? You know, we still have our running game, but you're more drop back, and that being in the gun and drop back allows you to have less issues from a pass protection standpoint, A-gap pressures, things like that. So there is a reason for being in both. Last week it was a run-oriented play action game with a little bit less drop back, so you know we were under center more, and Cody's very comfortable from underneath there.
Let's do one more.
You've talked a lot about improving the pass rush, obviously going to be important this game. Delvon Simmons had kind of a breakthrough game this last week. What have you seen out of him in terms of his development?
I tell you what, really, you know, what we're stressing this entire last 2 weeks is not X and O's, guys. It's techniques and fundamentals, and I want you to work your game. That's why you see so much emphasis on 2 days in a row being used on pass rush. Yesterday being one-on-one pass rush, man versus man, and today being team rush, whether it's twist game, whether it's 2-on-2 on a man side. You know, I think those techniques and fundamentals that they're doing, and their position coaches are doing a nice job helping them, are really paying off, and hopefully that'll keep on going throughout the season. It's going to be critical in this game.
Okay.